Hi everyone, it's Tiffany here from Daisy Farm Crafts, and I'm going to show you today a sample swatch of the mixed cluster stitch. I've done this video, and this stitch before in a video, but it was back when I was just kind of learning how to do videos, and so I've heard from a lot of you that I went a little bit too fast, and so I'm hoping today I will totally slow down and help you to understand how to make the mix cluster because Hannah just recently used it for this blue and white striped blanket. So for today's tutorial though, I'm going to use white yarn because I think that shows up a little bit better and you'll be able to see it easier. Okay, so first what you're going to do is start with a chain of 12. Now for this blanket and for this stitch, you can use any multiple of 3. Hannah's blanket starts with 102 chains, but I know how a lot of you like to customize your blankets and do whatever. So all you need is a multiple of 3. So I'm going to start with 12 chains, and I highly suggest that you do a little sample swatch and learn this stitch before you start with 102 chains. Okay, so for the first row just starts with all single crochet. So I'm working into the second stitch to start, and I'm working across the row with just a regular single crochet, which is yarning over, pulling up a loop, pulling through 2. The yarn I'm using for today is Caron Simply Soft, and I am using a size H hook, and this is the yarn that Hannah did use for her blue and white striped blanket. Okay, so I'm to the end of the row, and I will have made 11 single crochets, and that is an important number to remember. Okay, here's our first row of clusters. You're going to start with 2 chains, turn your work like a page in the book, and your very first stitch, you're going to yarn over and work right at the first stitch. You have your 2 chains and then the first stitch. You're going to work underneath those first 2 loops, pull up a loop, and just work through the first 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over, skip the next stitch, work into the next, and pull up a loop, yarn over, and just pull through 1 loop. Then yarn over, insert your hook again right into the same space, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 1 loop again. Now you should have 6 loops on your hook. Now yarn over and pull through all 6 of those loops. Yarn over and close them up with a chain. Okay, here we go. Yarn over. We're going to start over. Start right in the same place. Again, you'll be working into that same space 3 times actually. Now pull through 2 like we started the row. Kind of your half of a double crochet. Skip 1, work into the next, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1, work right back into that same space, pull through 1, now yarn over and pull through all 6. Now yarn over and close that up. Same space again. All of the stitches are worked in that. Now just yarn over, work with under 2 loops, yarn over, skip 1, work into the next, pull through 1, pull through 1, and now you have those 6 loops. So it's kind of like you just need to, and then close this up. So really, sometimes I just started thinking, okay, I'm pulling through 2, yarn over, skip, the next one, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 1. It's like you kind of just get into the rhythm of it, and you'll get it. Yarning over, same space, now pull through 2, and here we go. We're going to do something just a tiny bit different on this very last stitch. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, just pull through 1. Now pull through your 6, and this time, instead of just closing it up with a slip stitch, we are going to, a chain, we're going to yarn over, we're going to work a double crochet right back into that same space you just worked in. That's what will finish the row, is this double crochet. That kind of mirrors the chain 2 down here, so we have them at both ends. Now we're going to work 1 whole row of single crochet, and there should be 11 still. 1, work under every loop, even the little chain space. So you're working under the cluster and the chain space. If you're unsure, go ahead and count the 11 before you get going so you know exactly. So I'm working under the chain space and then under the loop of the cluster. And that gets me staying pretty even, but even then I will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is the trickiest one, is that the chain 2. You are free with Caron Simply Soft. It pulls so tight on me. If I was using a bigger yarn, I'd probably try to find and work into the top of that chain 2. But okay, look, my hook went in there anyway. But a lot of the times I just cheat. I work under that space. It doesn't really make a difference or show up for me. You are free to do whatever. I'm going to chain 2. We're going to do another mixed cluster row. I'm going to show you, turning like a page in the book. Because after this row, I'm going to show you a color change too. I'm working right into that very first stitch at the bottom of those chains. And I'm going to pull through 2. I'm going to skip 1, work into the next, yarn over, insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 1. I've got those 6. You're getting this, aren't you? And then we've got that little chain. Yarning over. Let me go really slow just in case. Pulling up a loop, working through 2, skip 1, into the next one, insert your hook. I yarned over. I'm pulling up a loop. I'm yarning over. I'm pulling through 1. I'm yarning over, inserting my hook into the same place, pulling up a loop, yarning over, pulling through 1, and now pulling through all 6, working in that same space. Pull through 2. You get in the rhythm of this. I promise you, you will. If you get this little practice swatch going, you will get this. Okay, the thing at the end of the row I want to show you is the color change. So while I'm working this, I'm trying to think if there's any other detail. I hope you'll go look at her blog, at the website for this pattern specifically for her blanket. She put some really cute braided tassels at the bottom of her blanket that I think are adorable. And this stitch, once you get a whole line of it, looks so cute. Okay, did you see what I was doing? That was the last step of the stitch. So I'm pulling through all 6. Here's the change, is instead of closing that loop up with a chain, you are going to yarn over, insert your hook into the very same space, just like before I was showing you, and work that double crochet. Except right here is where you're going to stop. And you are going to lay the new color over the hook and pull through. That's pretty common with any color change. Basically on the last step of any stitch is when you just lay the new yarn color over your hook and change colors. And that is, I hope this is a better video explaining it that you'll see. Just keep practicing. This is, can be pretty confusing for a beginner. So if you're a fresh beginner, I'm going to tell you to go find a different project. I'll be honest. This is not for beginners. You want a really, really good foundation of having a few projects under your belt before you tackle this one. But I never want to tell anybody, you know, not to jump in and give it a try, but just be cautious that this is pretty intermediate. And even me, see, even now I'm like, oh, did I hit that last stitch or not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. See, it's going to take me a couple of rows to realize, okay, nope, I got to go into that space, that chain 2 space. And I'm off and running. One thing I liked about this mixed cluster and why I originally put a row of single crochet in between it is just so that I guess it lines up each side of the blanket will look exactly the same. So I loved this part of the cluster stitch, and I wanted it all on the same side of the blanket. So working the single crochet back across kind of did that. And then you have a different look on the other side. Okay, good luck. Thank you as always for stopping by Daisy Farm Crafts. We sure love all of you and are so thankful for all your kindness. I'm just a grandma in training, sharing my love of crochet is how Daisy Farm Crafts started. And then my daughter Hannah had to help me on the tech side and ended up learning how to crochet just by reading a lot of my patterns and then watching me too. So it's been fun to watch her design blankets and using her color choices and everything. She's makes such beautiful things. So anyway, daisyfarmcrafts.com. Hopefully that will give you all the information that you need. All right, we will see you next time. Thank you.